Oh, man.
You're on a diet now, aren't you?
No.
Liar.
I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going Friday night? Militia Power Hour, as always, behind this bar with Bill C. Look at the bicep.
Crank the fucking arm on this fucking. Look at it. Look at the cuts on that fucking thing. Yeah, fucking look like a fucking bodybuilder.
As every week, we got a fucking epic show. We're going to be talking to Metal Militia Hall of Famer Mike Miller. We got awesome trivia
fucking
questions.
an OG,
We're going to have an awesome interview with him.
Hey, man, let me tell you, Mike Miller's a fucking OG.
Rooster
man.
Cogburn.
Fucking Rooster Cogburn. You got, what's his other aliens?
Josie Wales.
Outlaw Josie Wales. Damn!
We're going to go over the meet schedule. We got a fucking sick video that the Australia brothers made. We're going to show that too. So, without further ado, Aaron, hit the intro.
Hit that motherfucking intro. I'm ready to do this show. Let's roll. Or...
There it is.
Man, I tell you, this tastes good, bro. How's your non-alcoholic beverage tasting?
Delicious.
So that's 3, 2, 1, up, up, up. That's like the squat command, right?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought it was like 3, 2, ah! Like you getting crazy, man. I don't know.
So like I was saying before that fucking awesome intro, we're going to be talking to Metal Militia Hall of Famer Mike Miller, who I think
Fucking
we have.
best of the
We
best,
got him on
man.
the line right now. Here, yeah, we already got him.
Are we going with him right now?
We're with him right now.
Damn.
I'm going to put him on the
We
camera.
got you, Mike.
You hear us again?
Oh, he's got his sound off, I think.
Mike, put
wait.
your sound on.
Try it now. You got us?
Yup.
All right,
Nice.
sick.
There he is.
All right, Mike Miller, Metal Militia Hall of Famer. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, man.
Fuck yeah,
appreciate
dude.
the invite.
Awesome. So, obviously, inaugural class of the Metal Militia Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that, first and foremost. Well deserved. I've heard
Fucking Hall of Famer, man, dude.
heard many
Jesus
many
Christ,
awesome
dude.
stories about you from Bill, especially like at the Arnold where you could lift the strongman stone and some of the strongmen couldn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
That's a good one. And then obviously your lifting accomplishments.
If there's any exaggeration, that's probably true too.
Well, when we walked into the Arnold Classic,
What's that?
I said when we walked into the Arnold Classic, you walked in first, and I said, Michael, I don't want anybody to fucking touch me. You looked over your shoulder and said, Bill C, there ain't nobody gonna fucking touch you. And
Juggernaut walking.
and we walked through the fucking crowd, and people, it was like the fucking partying of the Red Sea. Things were a lot different back then, man.
When we would go anywhere, like the group of us, like after a meet, like me, you, Latimer, McVicker,
Bobby.
you know, Bobby, it would be like people would just run the other direction. I mean, I remember, I think we were up in, I forget where we were. I think we were up in New York. I don't know if I should tell McVicker stories now, but
Oh, you can say whatever you want. There's absolutely no restrictions on the show. You can say what you want.
Whatever you
do you
want.
remember when that guy was standing on the sidewalk and McVicker picked up his girlfriend and took her into the bar with us?
Yeah, I've ran away with him. I do.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's like, I'll bring her back in a little bit. The guy just stood there, and I kind of felt bad for him for about 5 seconds.
So I have a great Mike Miller. This is an old a 20-year-old story. So we, obviously everybody knows I'm infamous with the fucking booze. If you get going with the liquor, and it's gonna end badly. So we went into this fucking hillbilly bar in upstate New York, right at the base of the Adirondack Mountains. We go into this fucking place.
The Full Moon.
The Full Moon Bar and Grill.
I love that place, man.
I know. Well, Mike was a regular every time. And let me tell you something even funnier. They actually had Mike sign a fucking Ace of Hearts, and they put it on the wall. I think it's still on the fucking wall there. But we go into this fucking place, and I'm going to talk about now only the old cats are going to know who the fuck I'm talking about. But we go into this spot, and it's all the regular militia crew, like from back in the day. So I'm going to say the regular guys. So you got Bill C., you got Bobby Fields, you got McVicker, you got Louis Einfeld, Dirty Dick Crane. There's about 6 or 7 other fucking just regular cats. But now we're going to talk some big motherfucker. Well, actually, Chuck Vogelpool, and we had Chester Stadford, and who the fuck was there from West Side also? What the fuck was that? The one dude that ripped Rob Fusner was there, and J.L. Holsworth. And what's Dave Tate's partner's name? Or I don't know if they're partners anymore or not. Jim Windler. So we're all in this fucking spot. Now I left the Giants out of this. So the Giants were now Mike Miller, the guy we're interviewing tonight, was the biggest of the big. It didn't get no bigger than this motherfucker. But Latimer was close to the same size. But we had Lat on the show last week, but Lat was just built different. Mike's ass was the size of a Clydesdale horse. They had the legs to fucking match. That big back. I mean, Mike was so goddamn big. I'm telling you, man. This man was the biggest motherfucker of all time. But I'm going to tell you, and Mike, you are going to agree with me when I say this, Tim Harold was a big motherfucker, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy Harold was 6'11". He was about 475 to 500 pounds. And I used to beg Mike and Sean, I'm like, hey, man, West Side got a 500-pound man. We need and I used to say, Michael, please, man, I don't have a 500-pound friend, man, please.
And I'm like, no.
Mike would be like, Bill, what the fuck, man? You trying to kill my ass, man. I'm not down with that. But now, can you imagine, we all in this bar this one night, and, we get down. So we got about a $2,300 bar tab. And Bobby Fields wound up whacking some dude, and we wind up leaving. Mike Miller's so big, he passed out and he slumped over to a railing in the place. We get remember my old blue truck? It was fucking about 6 feet in the air, huge. We fucking get him in the back of the truck, and we leave. He fall out the back of the truck. And we can't get him back in. So I'm with McVicker, and we kick the stones up all over the place. And, poor Michael laying on the ground, and he's screaming at me to leave him.
Hang on a minute, Bill. Bill, tell these guys what your definition of the back of the truck is.
The bed.
The truck bed.
The bed.
You're in the truck bed.
The bed.
Mike, you 6'5", 450 pounds. What do you think you were talking about? The fourth door? You don't put a guy that weighs 450 pounds in the cab, my man. You put him in the back, and you hope that the bed colds. So he in the back, and we go crazy going around the corner. Well, Mike fall out of the truck.
Yup.
So he laying on the side of the road. He's in the side of the road. So I jump out of the truck. I'm drunk. I'm driving drunk. Jeff's drunk. Mike's so drunk he can't stand up. We fucking trying to get him up. And the immediate realization hit upon us that we had about 9 motherfuckers that threw his ass in the back of the truck.
Now there's 2.
And now it's me and Jeff. And Jeff looking right at me, and I'm screaming at Mike, Mike, come on, come on. And Jeff like, look, man, we have no shot at lifting this dude up. There's no shot. If he can't stand, we ain't going to get him back in the truck. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, Michael, get up, man, get up, get up. It's, we in July. It's July. Mike looks right at me, grabs my shirt like by the collar, and dude, his hands are as big as mine. He's a big cat, bro. He goes, just leave me. So I'm fucking McVicker's like, fucking, we gotta go, man. The cops are gonna come. Just leave his ass. I'm like, Michael, please, man, please get up, please, please. Mike's like, fucking, I'm going to sleep. So we get in the fucking truck, and I'm like, Jeff, man, there's bears and shit around here. Jeff's like, my odds are on Mike if they get into a tussle. We'll come back and pick his ass up in the morning. And that's a true fucking story, and that really fucking happened. And Michael, tell me I'm wrong at any fucking facet of that.
That's a legit story.
Didn't you say he called you the next morning to come pick him up?
Yeah, Mike called me in the morning. He's like, hey, man, I'm at the Blue Moose. No, he went over to the Blue Moose.
Oh, yeah.
When we was younger, there was payphones. I don't even think there's payphones anymore. Is there payphones anymore?
Very rarely.
There's none around.
So there was a payphone out in front of Aaron, at the end of Glen Lake Road.
Yeah.
What's the name of that bar now? Back then it was
Blue Moose.
Before it wasn't even called the Blue Moose. It was the Blue Moose after. Yeah. Before that it was like I can't remember what it was, but Mike's like, I'm out in front of this fucking bar, come pick me up. And Glenn Shabbat was up too, and he wound up hooking up with some pig, and he's downtown Glens Falls.
Jesus.
And he's like, Glenn's like, hey, I'm standing by a stop sign. I said, that doesn't help me.
At all.
And Mike's like, look, I'm up here in Lake fucking George. I'm out, there's a damn bar with a moose in front of it. Because someone got to come and pick my ass up.
The moose part would have helped. Like, all right.
So we went and got Mike, and then we're driving through downtown Glens Falls, like the back roads of Glens Falls to pick up fucking Glenn. But that shit really actually fucking happened.
All I wanted was breakfast at that point.
Yeah, and we wound up. Remember, we went to that cylinder diner, and we had one hell of a good breakfast, man. It was good. No, the place up there, up in Lake George. Where they had the
bowling alley.
Yeah, right in front. But it used to be it looked like a trailer. It was like a silver, like an old school looking trailer.
Prospect Mountain Diner.
Yeah, Prospect Mountain Diner. That's it. And we went in there and had a good we had a good breakfast. And we eating and talking shit and. Like, man, you left me on the side. Motherfucker, you
told me to.
450 pounds, and you was swinging. I'm not getting involved in that. And McVicker, dude, I'll tell you what. Honestly, I tried, Mike. You know I did.
I know you did.
I was pulling you up by your neck, and I was McVicker's like, leave him. Fuck them. Fuck him. Leave him. Fucking leave him. Let's go. I go, Jeff, there's bears around here. Jeff's like, my money's on fucking Miller. No, listen. Everybody in the studio, I'm telling you right now, McVicker literally said, my money's on Miller. Fucking fuck a bear.
Sean Latimer commented, Mike Miller stories are the best.
Did Bill ever tell you guys about the time when we first met?
No, go ahead.
Hang on. What direction are you going? This when Barno got thrown through the wall, or?
No, man. The very first time I came up there.
Oh, when you come up here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he never told you that story?
No.
Please.
Well,
continue.
listen. Yes and no. I mean, I try to get all Michael, shut the fuck up for a minute. I try to get all the guys, the young kids, on board. So I'd like,
You know what? You're probably, I don't know.
No, go ahead and tell. No, you.
So
you get reprieve, and John Garobi gets reprieve. So go ahead. You can say whatever you want, Mike Miller. You can say whatever you want, man.
I had my gym down in Nazareth at that time.
That was at the original place too, man.
Original Nazareth Barbell. was looking to bench 700 pounds. That was my goal. I wanted to be the first guy to do 8 besides Anthony Clark, but I had to get to 7 first. So,
kids on board.
I called Bill.
So I'd like, you can say whatever you want. Mike Miller, you can say whatever you want.
Come on, man. I had my gym down at Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good. That's my technical error, not yours.
Original Nazareth Bar. All right. So I called Bill, and you ended up coming down. Actually, no, that's not right. You called me because we were having an IPA meeting.
No, how me and you met, you called me up on the phone, and you said, hey, man, we doing this thing. Will you come down? I said, absolutely.
You ended up coming down. You had that white bench shirt.
No, I didn't lift. Sebastian did. That fucking piece of shit scumbag.
Right, that's right. He was supposed. What was he doing? 700.
He wanted to hit his first 700, and let's refer to him as a piece of shit scumbag.
So anyway, long story short.
Say it, Mike. He's a fucking turncoat scumbag, piece of shit scumbag.
Man, I'm not arguing that fact.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, and I end up. Long story short, Bill invites me up, and I end up going up to his place in New York for a weekend.
But that wasn't when we first met. We first met at your place.
Right. This is the first workout.
Oh, when we trained? Right. Yeah, that was before I even owned a gym, man. That was at the Nautilus.
In your basement.
Oh shit! That was at my old crib. Yeah, fucking A, man. That was at Michael. I'm sorry. You continue your story. I can't remember anything, so go ahead.
So. Bill invites me down. I get down there, and I meet up with him at his cabin, and I get in the truck with him, and he's like, "Hey man, I got some shit I got to do." We're running around, and he's like, the first thing out of his mouth is, "Hey, listen, I'm kind of seeing this girl that we're gonna go pick up right now, but don't mention this girl to the girl that is hanging out in my cabin." And I'm like, "Okay."
Is there any way we can pause this or?
No.
Hang on a minute, though. Hang on. Even better. Now, this is a Ben Cuthbert story, too. Because, because I had to actually go and we had to pick up money. Jesus Christ, dude. This is a very, 4 or 5. Michael, go ahead. You tell your story.
So we end up with another girl who I'm not going to name. And we go out. We get something to eat, and we start having a couple drinks. And I'm like, I'm in training mode. I want to bench 700 pounds, so I'm not seriously looking at drinking anything. We were at the Blue Moon. It was the first time I ever went there. So we got food, and Bill's like doing shots, and then he orders me one, and then I'm drinking with him. And all of a sudden now, I'm starting to drink with Bill. Like, I'm now in it to win it. It's all over.
And you're Scottish, and you're competitive. And hang on, ladies and gentlemen that are watching the show, Crawford and Miller are the most Scottish fucking names in camp. There's a few, but if you were Crawford or Miller, you are fucking got Scottish blood in you, and you're competitive, and you like to fucking around. Right. And then you get around motherfuckers the same. Yep. That's it, bro. That's it, man. So, the big ass sandwich. Now, we'll get to that.
That's all out, and we're hanging out with this. Place is packed with people, and we're rolling shot for shot, drinking beer with it, and Bill's drinking fucking Jack and Coke or something.
I was Jack and Coke back then. That was before I materialized and got sophisticated and drank Crown.
Shots and drinking Jack and Coke.
Oh.
And I had no idea what I was up against. Like at that point, my drinking career I was a novice compared to Bill.
Michael.
Yeah, buddy.
I want you to finish this as a good story. But I want you right now in the back of your brain to put the Karen Kidder story in the back of your brain.
I've got it already.
All right, fair enough. I just want you to tell that story. Maybe in 15, 20 minutes you tell that story, but fair enough. Go ahead. No, when I'm up on the roof and screaming and fucking busting and shit. Oh, yeah. All right, go ahead.
So then the whole thing is I came up here to learn how to bench properly and to be able to be coached by a man that I looked
revered.
I knew could train me to bench 700 pounds, and I was in no condition to work out the following day by 11 o'clock at night. And we were there till it closed.
Oh, yeah, fucking A. They threw us out of the bar, and then I made them leave the bar open.
Yup.
That's the truth, too. They tried to make us leave, and I said, motherfucker, dude, see the size of this guy? If he gets pissed off, he'll rip the fucking walls down. You're fucking going to continue to serve fucking alcoholic beverages until I say different. And they listened.
So we just, the amount of booze was ridiculous. So then we finally made it home and went to bed. And I think it was like 6 o'clock. This fucking guy comes and wakes me the fuck up.
I'm an early riser.
Like fresh as a fucking daisy, starts shaking me and goes, "Hey man, get up. We got shit.
Let's fucking roll, baby." I've always been that way. You guys know that
too. What do
too.
we have to do? So no food, right? No food at all. We're gonna go ride fucking 4-wheelers now.
Oh God, dude, we did do that. And then hey, Ronnie Dayton and Mike Olmo and all them fucking dudes from Connecticut were here too.
My head feels somebody's driving a railroad spike through it. And now I'm on this fucking like 4-wheeler 350 fucking clown car driving through the Adirondack wilderness. Bill's doing 180 miles an hour up and down the trails, popping wheelies in circles around me. And I almost fell off and killed myself 10 times. We get out to some spot where he's got a jump set up, and he's just like flying and hitting these fucking jumps and airborne and doing that. And all I can think of is like, man, I just want a fucking bowl of scrambled egg and some fucking sausage, man. So we fucking get done with that, and we go back, and he's like, okay, it's time to work out. And I'm like, I haven't eaten yet, man. And I was super high maintenance at that point. So we go downstairs. I don't even think I had a glass of water at that fucking point. And we're benching, and we're in Bill's basement. If you can picture like a dark, dank dungeon in the bottom of a cabin where you would hide bodies, that's fucking exactly what Bill's basement smelled like. And there was a bench there. There was probably like 30 fucking people shoved into this basement.
But I'm not even fucking on here.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah.
But
I got you.
I had dumbbells from 5s to 200s. I had a power rack. I had a leg press. I had a hack squat, a leg extension. Fucking basement was actually pretty fucking jacked.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it was a dungeon, Bill.
Oh fuck yeah, it was definitely a dungeon.
So we get down there, and I start working out, and I'm benching, and I'm thinking I'm all strong and tough, and I put my bench shirt on, I start doing my thing, and I had 500 pounds on, I think, and I fucking brought it down. I couldn't touch with my shirt because I was having and Bill's like standing above me, screaming his fucking head off, like at the top of his lungs, bring it down, just coaching me the whole way through it. I fucking brought it down, and then he made me do it like 5 or 6 more times, which I'd never done. And got up, took a couple of minutes rest, ended up with like 6 1/4, 650 on the bar that I did for 2 or 3 times, which I'd never seen before. I'd never even touched the weight. And the following week, or 2 weeks later than that, we went up to Jim Parrish's meet, and I did my first 700 bench. Yeah.
Can everybody hear everything all right?
I've got nothing.
The vocals changed.
I've got nothing from your mic.
Well, turn my fucking mic on.
It's on. It's
Everything's
on.
I can hear all you guys.
Mike, can you hear me right now?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. I can't hear fucking shit.
It's not on that. It'd be on the other one.
I mean, it's nice if you can hear us.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
Young
fine.
Buck
I
either.
continued the interview, so.
Yeah, so I mean, so you went up to Jim Parrish's meet, you said, and you got 700 that day?
Do you
Yeah,
remember-
easy.
Hey, at Jim Parrish's meet, do you remember well, that fucking makes sense. What's going on with this?
I think when you got up, it came loose.
What does it go on though?
Yeah,
I'm-
so you
we
did
got this.
700, you said easy at the next meet?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good meet. I mean, it was really good. But my point was, I had
Perfect.
so much. I was so high maintenance when I started working out.
Yeah, but that wasn't what I was going to say. Do you remember the conversation that me, you, and Bobby had leaning on that fucking blue mailbox out in the front of that fucking gym? At that motherfucking meet,
yes.
At Jim Parrish's fucking meet, me, you, and Bobby met outside in front of the fucking gym, and I fucking grabbed a hold of fucking you and Bobby and said, you let any of these fucking cocksucking motherfuckers beat you, it's on. We are literally going to fucking fight as soon as this fucking meet is over with, and I fucking promise you I'm going to beat your fucking ass. You looked at Bobby, Bobby looked at you, and I said, you fuckers can figure this fucking out. I'm going back in. We went back in, and you and fucking Bobby just mopped the fucking floor with everybody. It just fucking mauled. It wasn't fucking mauled everybody. Mauled. And it was even better because Joel Toronzo, who was a legitimate victim of mine many fucking occasions. You actually stuck up for him, which we'll get into in a minute, but he was there, and I told him, I said, Mike Miller is going to fucking maul any lift you ever do. Bobby Field weigh half as much as you do, and Bobby going to whoop your ass. And that was a good meet, man. That was cool. You guys did. And actually, what was that fucking cat's name? Stan Martin.
Yeah.
Stan Martin, I believe he also benched 700 at that meet.
Yup.
And that also is when 700 was, that was when you get 250 pounds out of a bench shirt, 700 fucking pounds is a hell of a bench.
Yup.
Damn.
Yeah, 700 pounds was a big bench then.
So, Mike.
Not so much now, but yeah.
So, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. I just did some research on the internet. You're in a meet. Your biggest squat is 1220. Your biggest bench is 805. And your biggest pull is 705 in meets.
Yeah.
And your biggest total is 2625.
That's it.
Damn.
Let me be very clear when I say this. This will be a very unpopular thing to say.
Right.
But if Mike Miller in his prime was able to lift with the conditions that we have in powerlifting right now, he would have a 31 or 3,200 pound total.
I believe it.
No, I'm telling you right now. This kid that squatted 1,300 pounds, listen, great squat, did a good job, handled the weight and everything else. But Mike was things have changed. West Side set the standard, and everybody else is fucking falling under. If the same platform, and I can tell you this, Mike's 1,200 pound squat, or 1,210, whatever it was crucified and was probably 3 inches lower than the current world record. And that's not being an asshole. I'm not talking shit. It's just how fucking things are. And I can also say this. I love Mike. I've been friends with him for fucking 25 years. When Kirk squatted 1,003, it was 2 or 3 inches lower than what Michael did.
Yeah. Oh, he could squat.
Yeah, but you know, it's just evolution and how things are, and people. But at the same time, they have to understand. And if people want to talk shit about that, if you took a picture of Michael when he was at his biggest, and you took any power lifter that's lifting right now and took a picture of them and put them next to Michael, I'm telling you right now, I have walked with giants my entire life. I've trained the strongest strength athletes that have ever lived. I've trained the likes of Andy. I'm not even going to name names. Just guys that have done the greatest shit you've ever fucking seen in the sport ever. And strongman stuff, too. I'm going to tell you right now, Mike Miller was a giant among men. And I'm going to tell you right now, to see the things that I watched with my own eyes. I watched Mike squat 1,000 pounds wearing nothing but a belt and a smile for fun. like it was a joke. I've seen Mike do things in the strength community that people tell folklore about. Moral of the story is, the criteria's changed a bit, the equipment's changed a bit and whatnot. But right now, if you took a Mike Miller in his prime or a Sean Latimer in his prime, and you brought them into this day and age with the gear that they have, with the standards that these guys are living by, man, I'm going to tell you, you'd see a 1,400-pound squat. You'd see a fucking 1,400-pound bench. I mean, you'd see shit that you wouldn't fucking imagine could ever happen. These men were some of the largest dudes you've ever seen in your life, most muscular, most giant. We walked backstage at the Arnold Classic, and when I was competing, and I told Michael, I said, Mike, I don't want anybody to fucking touch me or get near me. And I was a fighter, and Michael was a fucking brute. And we were backstage at the Arnold with all the world strongmen. We had Svenny Carlson, all them guys. And Mike Miller and Sean Latimer were so much bigger and so much more powerful looking. Mike, I don't know what the size of your leg was, but you probably had a 43, 44-inch thigh back then.
Something like that.
It had to be that big, man. I mean, dude, you were so big and powerful looking. The strongmen didn't even fuck with you. You remember this? When we was backstage, they fucked with everybody but our crew because we had fun.
Bill, we were angry people though too. Like, it wasn't a.
You remember your hot tub rant? Remember your hot tub rant when you was fucking freaking out and screaming?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. Man, I'll tell you, Mike Miller, probably the absolute greatest squat machine you've ever seen in your life. This guy, I love with absolutely all my heart, and I'm gonna always say great stuff about him no matter what. But Mike Miller and Sean Latimer are my two favorite lifters of all time because they're just. Beast. They're so goddamn badass and big and powerful, and but big like earthly big,
right?
Like Kratos. I mean, they're just goddamn big.
Thanos, like Latimer said last week.
Hey, we had Sean Latimer on the show last week, and I said to Sean, I go, if you took your upper body and Mike Miller's lower body, and I stuttered a bit, and I said, man, you'd have a, and Sean Latimer goes, you'd have fucking Thanos is what you'd have.
If Sean and I had a baby.
It would legitimately be Thanos.
If Sean and I have a baby, Sean's the one getting pregnant, not fucking me.
He's watching right now, so he's going to say something for sure.
That's why I said it.
Hey, Mike, so Bill just said it. One of the best squatters he's ever seen, or the best squatter you've ever seen.
Best squatter I've ever seen was Kurt Kowalski and Mike Miller.
April 8th.
Kurt, you can't take anything.
No.
Listen, man, Kurt Kowalski was great. I mean, just that guy and Ed Cohen. Even like
Eddie, but you start the depletion of the level of weight happens at body weight. So, Eddie was a 42er. I think he did 75s a few times. He was 220 and 198. Kirk was a 242er early and 75er.
Was a stud, man.
But the big weights, though, I mean, the Caterpillar squat machines were you guys, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, by today's standards, you remember, Michael, what did you do? 12:10, 12:15, what was it?
12:20.
12:20. People crucified that.
Oh, yeah.
By today's standards, but listen to me. By today's standards, that fucker is in the bucket. People be like, "Oh my God, dude!" There was no question at all about it, and none whatsoever. And back then it is what it is, and so goes life and whatever. But I mean, how you were built, Jesus Christ, Michael, you're the biggest. Mike, when you were competing, you were the biggest strength athlete on the fucking planet. There was nobody bigger than you. There really, honestly, was no one bigger. You and Sean Latimer were so much bigger than the World Strongman guys
Don't
were.
forget the kid from West Side.
Oh, Timmy Harold was big too.
Yeah.
And Tilt was big, but he was fat. Not, I mean, a good kid, but he was fat. And what was the other dude that did the West Side shit? I was thinking he was from Chicago. Jeff Lewis. He was a big motherfucker too, but he was fat too.
Hey, Mike,
Ruggiero was
so-
a big dude. And
Oh my God, Mikey Ruggiero. Fucking
Yeah.
Mike Ruggiero is like you. Like a fucking goddamn fucking juggernaut. That motherfucker was so fucking big, dude. Mike Ruggiero was big too.
he did 1,000 the one time out at York Barbell with with knee wraps and a fucking single ply.
Extra, yeah, the champion suit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the place, Mike? I'm glad that I'm asking you this because I'm glad you said this. Remember before they were having them weightlifting contests at York, when they would have the IPA Worlds and the Nationals,
Yeah.
they had it in that circle building.
Yup.
What was that building? Because we were trying to figure that out recently on the show about 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 shows ago. We were trying to figure it out. I can't remember what it was, but it was not York Barbell. That was a different building.
Yeah. Yeah, it was named after the guy with the dumbbell.
Thompson?
Huh?
Thompson?
I don't remember, Bill.
Fuck.
I honestly don't remember.
If somebody knows the name of that fucking building, do you remember when we were standing up on the stage and I fucking screamed? Mike Ruggiero was standing in the double doors up above, and I go, God damn! I stopped the beat. Look at the size of that motherfucker.
Yeah, he was fucking just huge.
man,
I remember
traps.
the first meet I did out at York, and watching those guys warm up and lift. That was I got my ass handed to me. I mean, I just got destroyed. And I remember telling Deb on the way home, that was like the whole turn thing for me. That was the first big meet I'd ever done. And I'm like, never the fuck again. You know, I'm not going to get beat like that ever again. I thought I was strong. And I went down to York Barbell, and Mike Ruggiero just mowed me into the ground. And, yeah, I'm like, fuck that, never again. And,
Yeah, but you also have to remember, you came into the sport late. And,
yeah.
you know, Mike was a known man. You know, Michael, I'm going to tell you something. And, you know, this isn't fucking stroking your ego or nothing. There was about 5 or 6 years where there was no one on the planet that was strong as you, and you know that. You know that. There was nobody in the world that was as strong as you for quite a few years. You just did the things that you were capable of doing were, I mean, even like goofing around. Like remember when we was doing the farmer's walk with the 250s out behind the original NAS barbell? I mean, there's shit like that you just fucked around with. You were just like, and you know, you were a big fucking giant dude, and you were just playing goofy kid games with the weights. There was nobody that was as strong as you.
do you remember Bench America when we moved the car?
Kiddo, I remember all that stuff. But you know what's crazy? I can't remember. Young Buck's like my son. Although recently he's been pissing me off a little bit, but as of normal,
What did I do?
you talk, you fucking run your like tonight, like
did I
a fucking,
do?
you run your mouth a little bit.
About
but,
what?
But that being said, you know what? Nick's like a son to me, and he knows all. I teach him all like the history and everything of it. The whole Bench America thing was fucking insane,
yeah.
dude. That was crazy.
Yup. That and
Actually, you want to hear a funny story? I'll let you tell the Michael. I'll let you, Mike. I'll let you tell the Bench America story. So we downstairs in the damn hotel. We drinking liquor. We getting crazy. And you tell me we drinking right out the bottle of Jack Daniels. I had 2.
Bobby Fields is eating potato chips out of my toes.
I had 2 1.75 liter bottles of Jack Daniels on the table, and we drinking them. And you tell me, you say, Bill, I'm nervous. I said, you ain't got nothing to be nervous about, man. You the biggest motherfucker here. And you said, man, I'm nervous. And I fucking stood up and I fucking whacked you. And then you got going. And, man, let me tell you something. When Mike Miller got going back then, he's a big man. And it was on. So we created a ruckus. And then you remember the damn cops come in. They try to...
Yeah.
I'll let you tell the story, man. You tell the whole story.
So we're sitting there.
In a 5-star hotel.
Just like a mess. Just a complete mess. And Bobby Fields is there. I'm there. Bill's there.
McVicker, Mendelson,
Everybody was there.
there was, I mean, the Becca Swan, there was all the dudes from Big Iron and West Side, all of them were there. Joe Mazzo trying to be like the, Billy, calm down, fucking leave Mike alone.
Yeah, we were. So Bill was trying to amp me up a little bit because I was nervous. And I know you guys have been around him long enough to know what amped up means. So he's getting nuts, and we're both getting pretty wound up. And all of a sudden,
I was on drugs too, so.
Yeah, well, we both were. And so then all of a sudden I look around and everybody's gone. Like, there's nobody left. The room full of about 50 people had completely dispersed.
Well, they was terrified.
So Bill looks at me and he grabs me by the shirt and he's like, you just sit the fuck down right here and think about how fucking important tomorrow is. And then he whacks me upside the fucking head. So I'm sitting there and now he's gone and I'm the only one there and I'm just like,
ready to explode.
Yeah, ready to explode. And I turn around and I'm getting ready to go upstairs and there's 2 cops from Chicago.
Keep telling the story. I'll be right back.
Standing right there behind me. And they're like, I stood up and I turned around and I'm like getting ready to walk upstairs and they're like looking at me and they're like, sir, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. And with that, like 4 more cops come in. Right? So now it's me and 6 cops downstairs and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is no good at all. And they're like, well, we had a report of an incident here and there was some screaming and fighting. And I'm like, no, everything's cool. And I walk upstairs and I go into my room. My wife's up there, Deb. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, we were downstairs raising hell and now the police are here. And she's like, oh, shit. And Bill's like, I don't even know where Bill was. He was bouncing from room to room to room. And the cops are like walking around, knocking on all the doors. And after a bit, they had finally given up. But that was the end of it. But, yeah, that was a great meet. The Bench America meet was a blast. And I forget what I did. I think I took second at that next to Mendelson.
No, Mendelson bombed. I think Scott bombed. Who the fuck won that first one? Billy Carpenter did real good. I don't even remember.
Mendelson made that lift.
I know that scumbag fucking Gene bombed.
Yeah.
And
but Mendelson bombed his first 2 lifts and then got his third.
I don't. You know what? I don't know. And I have to readily admit my memory is fucking horrible with certain stuff. Well, I mean, but usually I can remember that stuff. I don't remember who won that meet, but Billy Carpenter did good. Bobby did terrible. McVicker did. I think Jeff hit 1 or 2. You remember with Bobby, I told the spotters and loaders, you loaded the wrong fucking weight. We asked for 700. You fuckers loaded 705. Give him another fucking shot. And Ed Cohen was on stage. And I looked at Ed, and Ed goes, is that real? I go, nope. And he goes, you're looking after your lifter. We're going to give him another shot. That really happened.
That's awesome.
Rob Capizula was a mess. Remember that crazy? There was a crazy guy backstage that never even lifted weights. It was like I could bench 900 pounds and fucking.
Yup, I remember that.
Remember that fucking dude, man? I gotta tell you, I think that Mendelson bombed that meet, but I don't know.
I don't know, Bill, but I thought he bombed his first two and came in on his third.
I don't know.
Because I was looking at, if he would have bombed that, I would have won it.
Fuck, dude, I don't
So,
remember. I don't
but it
remember
was-
where the bigger lifts.
We went down on McVicker's bus that he borrowed from
Oh.
fucking Aerosmith.
No, Shania Twain. He was fucking Shania Twain, bro.
No, dude, that was Aerosmith.
No, it was Shania Twain, bro. I'm telling you. We've already had Jeff on the. We had Jeff on the show, and he fucking talked about it. Shania Twain, the Jack Daniels fucking tour bus. That was fucking. And
That
also,
was a long fucking ride, man.
dude, with the sheep and the fucking back
Oh
in
my
the early
God.
cell phones and the fighting on the bus and
Poor Deb.
oh,
The shit I
God.
put her through.
Yeah.
And then the fireworks going off. You could see them from the room. You
No, I
remember that?
know. Yeah. I let fireworks off in my room. Oh my God, dude. Let me tell you.
No, it was 4th of July, man. There were fireworks everywhere.
I was
Yeah,
crazy
it was
back then, Michael. I really was.
It was awesome.
I was out of control. I will. My favorite. I'm going to tell everybody right now. So, my absolute favorite Mike Miller story, and I know that everybody that watches the shows, they always like, fucking, you got Bill C, and he's always talking shit and whatever. But some of this stuff I lived through. Like, actually, all of it I lived through. My absolute favorite Mike Miller story was 2 weeks earlier, we had competed in a meet, and I did really well. I think Bobby did pretty good. I think you hit you hit a PR. It was like a 730, 740, but we hadn't gotten a 750 yet. And McVicker had a good lick, and you had Stan Martin, who was wishy-washy, but he was still your guy. And then you had Louis Einfeld and Dirty Dick Crane was.
Castone, buddy. Don't forget Steve.
I was gonna get to it. You had Dirty Dick Crane, who wasn't one of our guys. That was one of fucking Jim Parrish, who was still a jerk off. I don't know if you're friends with the guy or not still, but
We get along.
I'm glad you do, because why carry a beef when you get old? Who the fuck cares? But back then, the guy was a considerable jerk off, and he sucked at lifting. I mean, Michael, come on. I mean, if you're friends with him, good. But I mean, anyways, but. I mean, come on, Mike. I mean, he wasn't really strong at all. He was, and also, I mean, not to be a dickhead either. The fucking guy is dead, but Gene was never really that strong either.
I have no use for Gene Richland.
But hang on, the dude's dead. You're a classy guy, and I would
God
never.
rest his soul.
God
I
rest
have no
his
use.
soul. I will say the same thing. Hey, God rest his soul. But when he was alive on this planet, that dude was a fucking scumbag. He was a liar. He was a cheat and a thief.
Yup.
So that being said, whatever. And also, too, I have had 100 conversations with you where I've said, don't you ever let that fucking disgusting creature ever beat you. And that's really the truth. I'm not going to lie about it. Fucking Mike, I screamed at you in the corner of Nas Barbell and said, if that fucking scumbag ever beats you, he's a fucking piece of shit. We could. How do you quarterback that now that we older? You gonna want to lie about it, or do you want to tell the truth? I'll tell the truth. I don't care. I said lots of bad shit. Let me tell you this, Mike. You know that this is the fucking truth. I fucking said right to Gene's face, and I said right to Jim's face, hey, man, I'll even go a step further. That one meet that we was at, I fucking told Jim I wanted to fight him. I said, I will fight you right fucking... I actually looked at you and said, watch this.
Yup.
Right? Am I...
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Rather than me be a fucking grandstander, I'll let you tell that motherfucking story. We were right there. I told Gene he was a fucking piece of shit. I told fucking Jimmy he was a piece of shit, and I said I'll fucking fight both of you right fucking now, right before you lifted. That's the truth.
Yeah, that challenge went wanting. It never happened.
But
It won't. You were a pretty intimidating character back then, buddy.
come on, man. It was just fucking
No, you were.
crazy Scottish kid, man. I liked fighting.
That's it.
Fighting. And Jeff did too, and you was big and
you were intimidating and a prankster extraordinaire.
to say the least,
did
anyways,
Bill ever
man.
tell you about the time he got Kieran Kidder so fucked up we thought he died?
No, but I was gonna let you tell that story. Go ahead.
So we used to have these huge parties after meets.
Every meet, every single, and let me tell you, everybody, hi, Michael. So all everybody that's in the studio right now, these are all young kids. Except for
We
Paulie.
missed out on good times.
Well, Paulie was borderline. He got some of that, but then he's young enough.
That there was a chemistry there that I don't know if can be replicated. With you, me, John Groby, Bobby, Steve, fucking
Jeff.
everybody. There was just a huge chemistry. Like anybody at any time, and Brian Ulrich. I mean, there was somebody somewhere. Do you remember? Listen, man. How about Ranger from out in Minnesota?
Yeah, we had him on the show about 3 weeks ago.
My kid, my son, my oldest son, Aaron, was 16 years old. And he bought a truck on an auction at eBay. Okay? And this is how tight this group of guys were. This was, without sounding like cliche, this was more like a motorcycle club than it
Still
was.
is. It still is.
And,
It's even worse
we were a
now.
bunch of degenerates. We were all lunatic degenerates at some point, and with nice guys. I mean, nobody, no thieving, no robbing, no bullshit.
But
you
fighting
didn't-
and handling
you didn't
yourself,
wanna mess
handling your
with
business.
anybody.
Yeah. Guys you didn't
That was
want to
in
fuck
this
around
group.
with.
Right, you didn't fuck around with anybody, and if somebody needed something and you made a phone call, it was taken care of. So my kid had bought a truck off eBay, and the truck was supposed to be shipped to Pennsylvania, and weeks go by, months go by, nothing. We're in 2 months into it, nothing. My kid tries to get a hold of this guy. My wife's trying to call him, da-da-da-da-da. So I end up calling the guy and getting a hold of him. And I said, hey, man, what's going on with this truck? I'll get it up to you. And I'm like, well, now is the time to get it
Let's
up.
roll.
And so the guy gives me some shit. And I'm like, is this the way you want to play this? Is this the way you're going to go with this? And he's like, yeah. And hangs up the phone. So
Then
I
you called
Bill,
Lloyd.
right? And then made a couple other phone calls. And didn't even ask for what happened or a response or anything. The truck was at the house in 3 days.
Yeah,
In the back
Lloyd's
parking lot.
got a
Yep.
lot of pull.
Dropped
Man,
it off in the middle of the night and left. Gone. Yep. But that's how loyal the Metal Militia guys were.
you know what? Listen, kiddo. The guys now, they're starting to get it, and they really are. I'm in a position where I get to watch how all the guys are now, and they're starting to get it. They fuck up a bit from here and there, but they really are getting it. And I'm in a good spot to be able to watch it. And, we tell the Bench America stories and all the good stories that we was talking about. And it brings back all kinds of memories. And when you bring stuff up, there's a lot of times where you'll bring up a story that I have completely forgotten about. And, there
was some epic shit going on back then.
Well, I think for about 7 or 8 years, there was literally the most epic shit on the planet when the cornerstone of all of powerlifting came off of what we were doing down in Nas Barbell.
Yeah.
And, if you remember, you know, we were doing seminars up at Black's Gym and up in Zanesville because all the West Side guys wanted to come and learn how to lift Metal Militia style.
That's right, dude. We would be at meets. And the West Side guys would ask you and me and other Metal Militia guys to come over and help them with their bench.
Yes, remember at Senior Nationals, we were all at Senior Nationals, and Dave Tate missed his opening. And Dave actually, to his credit, always talks about this. And he missed his opening attempt. And I went over to him and I said, "Do you want
What you're doing wrong?
Do you want to get a lift in this meet?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't want to bomb. I just hit a PR squat." I said, "All right, this is what we're going to do." I said, "Go and do this, this, and this, and X, Y, and Z, and P, D, and Q." And he smoked it.
Yeah.
And then he said, I said, "What's the most you've ever benched in your whole life?" And he said, 610. I said, "Well, you go ahead and take 620. And I about guarantee you're going to fucking burn this motherfucker right to the ground." And in front of everybody at Westside, man, it was a fucking hard decision for him to make, which, you know, by today's standards, there's no sense of loyalty or any of that stuff at all. So, but at that time, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And
Shit for that.
and I think I went out and handed the fucking weight off to him too, because back then, Michael, you remember, you couldn't coach. Things are a lot different now.
Yeah.
Now 50 coaches can stand on a platform and people can yell and whatever. But back then, your coach could give you a handoff and could coach you, but nobody else could fucking help you. So
Right.
I told Dave, I said, "I'll go out and I'll hand off to you." I handed him the weight and I coached him through it. And I think he hit a 620 bench. And I think that's the most that motherfucker ever benched in his entire career, to be honest with you.
But you remember, you know, when until the stuff with the Metal Militia came out, until the Metal
I don't
Militia
care about the time.
went you know, forward, nobody shared information.
No, we kept everything. I remember. Hey, man, this is a really. The fact that you just said that, I remember something. And I'm going to tell you that one of the coolest things of all time for me was. Remember when they did a big interview? There was a big fucking story in the strength community, and they did it at Nas Barbell. Okay, remember they come down, they took all of our pictures and all that shit. So we was sitting out in the front, and this is in Tatamy. This ain't the original. This is when we switched over when we was over in Tatamy. Do you know what I'm talking about now?
Yep.
So we ain't at the original Nas Barbell over by the Speedway. We were in Tatamy when this happened. So the dude comes into the gym, and he's like walking around and he's talking to everybody. And the dude comes up to me, and he starts talking to me, and I said, "Look, man, I'm fixing to chase after the fucking biggest bench press of all time. Man, I am fucking looking to talk to you right now. If you want to fucking hang out and talk after, we'll talk after. But you can talk to Michael or you can talk to John Garobi. But when I'm fixing to fucking do something. And when we done, and then I'll talk." So we went through all of our fucking shit. And we went out. You had the two couches and the refrigerator out in the front. And we're sitting out there. And this motherfucker conducted an interview, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's the most intense interview of all time. And I say that because I was gassed out of my fucking mind. You were gassed out of your mind. We were fucking gone, bro. I mean, way gone.
Those Saturday workouts.
No, man, I'm fucking crazy. But the most badass thing that was ever said, ever, of all time, was me and John Groby was sitting on that short couch, and you was sitting on a long couch. And you were the owner of the gym, so he's talking to you. And I know you're going to remember this. And you go, the question got brought up, and you said, your words were, "It's Bill C. He doesn't know how to fucking fail. He's obviously going to break the all-time fucking world record. It's already fucking done." And John Garoby yelled out loud, "God damn!" Because it was so fucking intense. Do you remember the interviewer started crying? Do you remember that?
Yep.
That's how intense.
Yeah, that was either Men's Health or the fuck was the other?
I think it was Flex Magazine where they did that. They did a 3-page spread in Flex Magazine on Nas Barbell, and they interviewed John originally, and then you were the owner of Nas Barbell, so they interviewed you, and the guy started to ask me a question, and I was tight back then. I was fucking tight. And I said, you might better fucking ask Mike because I'll fucking put you through the fucking wall. And he asked you, and you basically were just like, that's just Bill C because he doesn't know how to fucking fail. And I remember John Garoby just going, God damn. It was just so intense.
Yeah.
And the fucking interviewer started crying. Man, that was absolutely the most badass shit I think of all time.
I miss John.
I do too.
I miss him a lot, man.
Every year on his birthday, I drink a whole bunch of liquor and I smoke a whole bunch of weed and I
yeah.
Yep.
He was
something very special. Same man, he was a special dude. Super special guy. Kind of guy you walk across once in a lifetime. He was one of the only dudes that I would actually. He was able to talk me off a ledge when I would get really mad.
Yeah.
He could.
I
he get me.
I would call him to get him to talk me off the ledges all the time.
Yeah. Good dude.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, his telephone number back then was 1-540-898-5139. I still remember it to this day because that was my salvation. If you can imagine that. I can't hear Mike right now. What's going on?
We just lost. Yeah.
We still got you. You say something.
No.
That's his phone, I think. That's not us.
Whose phone? Mike's? Well, Mike, I can't hear you. Your phone's fucked up.
I got him still pretty good.
Yeah, we got him.
Barely hear him though.
Yeah, that's on his end. That's not us.
Ask questions.
I can hear you. You can still hear me, yeah? Okay. So moving so you hit the big 1220 squat, your biggest bench 805, your big pull. So after
That was a shitty pull for a man my size. Thanks anyway.
You got it. So then you've also been in a couple movies, which I kind of want to touch on one of them because it's one of my favorite ones. The Wrestler you're in. Can you just kind of say what that was kind of like being in that movie?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a really good time. You know, I was out of powerlifting at that point,
Right.
and was looking to get into wrestling.
Right.
And I was working with off of the Wild Samoan in Allentown, and they came in, and Darren Aronofsky, who I had no idea was
There it is.
asked a bunch of us to
That's better.
to
I
read
can
for the
hear it now.
movie.
It's whenever he's got his phone propped on.
So what was it like? I mean, I've never met the guy, but obviously Mickey Rourke was in the movie. What was it like working with him?
He's an asshole.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I didn't know, so I just wondered.
Literally, Mike told me that. I think like one of the first questions I asked Mike after, I'm like, "Hey man, what was it like? Mickey Rourke's a fucking jerk off. Was he like cool to work with?" Mike's like, "No, the guy was a fucking asshole.
like
straight up, that dude was a dickhead."
Did he do something in particular while you were like? In
I think it
scene
was
with him?
probably just Mickey Rourke being a fucking asshole.
He just wouldn't, like, the guy couldn't even remember your name and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was so much better than you.
Right.
You know, he treated people like he was way above them and you were beneath him.
Right.
You know, he was just not, you know, and the guy's a pussy on top of it all.
Right.
Like he's not a big stud of an
He's
actor
got his
or a
mic
strong
sitting,
man.
his phone sitting on something. And
Yeah,
whatever,
my phone's sitting here.
yeah, whatever you've got your phone on, Mike, it's blocking your microphone on that, and we're having trouble hearing you.
All right, hang on. Let me do this. Give me a sec. All right. How's that?
That's better.
Way better.
There you go.
Jeez, I couldn't hear him at all, dude.
So was
So,
sorry, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
no, that's my bad. So no, he was just an ass clown. And
Yeah.
like when the guy, me and my training partner from the gym went up to New York like 3 times a week to train him to get him ready for this movie.
Yeah.
And because he was just so slow and so out of shape. And after he won one of the awards, the guy goes up on stage and instead of thanking my buddy Tommy, who like put in hours and hours and hours of time with him, he thanks his dogs. He literally has fucking, you can tell a little bit about a man by what kind of dog he has. And the guy has like fucking chihuahuas or something,
Yorkies.
Yeah, whatever. And he's holding the dog and he thanks the dog. Like the
Wow.
dogs were his inspiration to do well in the movie.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
brutal.
just no concept of reality. But the after parties were great.
Nice.
And getting to see Marissa Tomei with no shirt on.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
So did that movie help? I don't know. You trying to get into wrestling at all? Did that kind of?
Oh
Yeah.
I was, the wrestling thing would have taken off if I wouldn't have told the director of talent to go fuck himself.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I was doing dark matches and things were going really good, and they were supposed to send me down to Florida for training and to continue training and development. And the WWE is just fucked.
Right.
It's a bunch of prima donnas.
They should have signed you, man. Because if they had done that, we'd have had a fucking field day, brother. That'd have been. Oh my God, man. They have no idea what they missed out on. Because they could have had about 20 or they could have had like matches where people in the crowd, which would have been like me and Bobby, and we could have just like charged in, and it could have been cool, man. They fucked up. They could have really done some fucking awesome entertaining. It would have been fucking a good time.
Huge ego.
Yeah, but fucking their purpose in life is to entertain. So just entertain.
Play actors.
Yeah, exactly. Why take a giant? You're a giant. Back then, you were a fucking giant. Why would you take a giant and make him act like a small man? Fucking take this motherfucker and have him fucking body slam the Big Show. Because I'll tell you, the Big Show, I've met him at his biggest. I mean, he was a big man. But muscular-wise, bro, if the two of you hit each other fucking at a 20-yard sprint, you'd have fucking broke him in half. Paul's... Listen, Mike, I'm friends with Paul. I'm not talking shit on the fucking guy. I'm just telling you, but when you guys were at your biggest, you were much more muscular. You were much bigger, much more powerful, like an authentic strength athlete. He was listen, I'm not going to talk shit on Paul because he's a cool dude and I like the guy. And I've been friends with him for a long time. People don't really know that, but he's like Karl Malone, about 150, 200 pounds heavier. He never had like the background that you had, like a 1,200-pound squat, 800-pound bench, 800-pound deadlift with the strongman pedigree. A lot of people don't even know. You know what? Honestly, listen, I know we're running short on time. I know that. But we need to have Mike back on because Mike Miller we talked with Sean last week.
Right.
Mike Miller actually did. He did a whole career outside of powerlifting. He did strongman before he did wrestling, and then he did UFC. We don't have enough time, Michael. We're winding down now. We only have about 5. I think for the whole show. We got a couple minutes left. We eating up a lot of time, which is my fault because I'm gonna keep you on as long as we can. But I mean, we need to have Mike back on.
Yeah,
And talk
whenever,
about all
absolutely.
this fucking motherfucker. Legitimately, is a fucking cross style athlete.
Absolutely.
He did legit world strongman shit. And Mike, just to set us up for another show, we'll get you when you get down to Texas, but real quick, just let the audience know what you did in just the brief amount of time you spent in World Strongman.
Well, I did a show up in Edmonton, and I did one up in New York, and I took the one up in New York was first place, and that was actually the first one I'd done, and that's where I got my pro card. And I did my best deal with the strongman was I did the 5 stones in 19 seconds.
Oh wow, that's moving. That's cooking
was
right there.
One of the fastest times on record at that point.
Right.
Well, Eddie Hall actually has the record, and it's like 19 and a half seconds. I only know that because I watched it today. So, and he got the big push, and they gave him the big announcement because he did the last stone in one movement where he grabbed it and he threw it up. He didn't set it on his legs and then do it. So,
Damn.
What was the stone like, do you know?
the last one was right around. It was a high 300. It was whatever the.
Yeah, they change them from time to time. Like, I mean, like I used to train up to 400 pounds in the gym.
I think that the last stone that Eddie Hall did, the official World Strongman record, which he still has, I think it's like 411 pounds is the last stone.
Holy shit.
And he did it in like 19 whatever
And
seconds.
change.
Yeah, 19 and change. Yeah.
Wow.
So strong, man.
All right, Michael, listen,
I'll
man.
be on anytime.
I'll hit you up, man.
We're gonna have you back on the show. Listen, this guy right here is a guy that I fucking love. I've known this motherfucker for 25, 30 years. I want to have him back on the show again to go over. So we just don't have enough time. That's the problem. I don't have enough time to fucking cover all the stuff with him.
When you and I get together, it's all reminiscent anyhow. So
That's the problem. We wind up fucking talking. He has a script in front of him, and the fucking guy didn't cover one single thing on the script. All we did was just talk shit the whole time. And fortunately, I can tell you, fortunately for the show, we didn't get into each other because I love talking shit on Mike Miller, and Mike Miller loved talking shit on Bill C.
hey, Bill, do you remember the food that Deb would make after our workouts?
Of course I do. Dude, we would listen. I started to say that we were sitting on the porch of your fucking house. It was me, you, Bobby Fields, Jeff McVicker, and Louis Einfeld. Okay, all people who really loved and cared about each other. And man, we was drunk. We had a good meal, and we was smoking weed, and we was young. And I remember I looked right at you and I said, Michael, I'm telling you,
It's never going to get better than this.
it's never going to get better than this right now, so soak it in. And I remember sitting on your porch, and you used to send Deb, and I would send my scumbag ex-girlfriend down to the store on the corner, and they'd get us ice cream sandwiches, and they'd get us push pops, and we would sit on your porch, and we'd drink liquor, smoke weed, and eat fucking good food.
Dude, and so you guys listening, my wife would make pounds upon pounds.
Your wife would make a 30-pound pasta meal to serve, and there'd be 30 people at your house.
Yep.
There'd be the cats from West Side, cats from fucking Billy Mimnall. I mean, fucking all them cats, man. They would come down and they would train. We'd feed them at your house, and we used to go up to that bar right outside of Naz, and then up in Tatamy. We go up to that where they had the big ass burgers. Remember that? Man, it was a good time, bro.
Yep. It was, man. It was. So
Michael, we got to have you back on the show. But we are winding down to the very end. We actually didn't even get to do any of our other shit, but we got to let you go, Michael. I want to have you back on the show again. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, we will have Mike Miller back on the show. We're going to talk more shit. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to tell some old stories. And Mike Miller is going to reveal shit that you ain't never seen before in the sport of powerlifting. We're going to have him back on. Mike Miller is one of my oldest and most dearest friends. We've had our ups and downs and our throughs and ups and all the business that you can imagine. But I love this man with all my heart, and would be one of the few people I would invite to a wedding when I decide to get married. So, Mike Miller,
Good shit.
I love you. You know how much I care for you, man. I put it out there for you. You know how I feel about you. I'm not going to go into any more than that. But Mike Miller, movie star, world strongman extraordinaire, MMA fighter, professional wrestler, and one of the fucking most badass motherfucking powerlifters you ever seen on the planet. The only thing this dude didn't do was assassinate the president of the United States. And if we could have him do that now, I'd be all right with it.
Well, Militia Hall of Famer Mike Miller, thanks for joining us, man. I can't wait to have you on again.
Absolutely. I'll see you guys in Texas, man.
All right, brother. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
Michael. I love
nice
you,
move.
brother. Take care. Tell Nika I said hi. Tell Deb I said hi. Tell Angus I said hi. And tell Aaron I said, what's up, homie?
I'll do that, man.
All right, brother.
Talk to you guys soon.
You
Talk
too,
to you
brother.
soon,
Have
man.
a good one. That was awesome, man.
Man, I love that fucking dude.
Good stuff.
I miss him. You know, that's the fucking worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, I see him on there. You get to take the breaking balls and stuff.
Right.
But I used to see that dude for 5, 6, 7 years. I've seen that dude every fucking single week, man.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you don't get to do that no more. And I miss him. And, you know, so goes life.
Right.
But a great man, a great father, a great parent, a great ambassador of the sport. And he was always a great, strong man style type competitive athlete. I don't know anybody that has competed in as many sports at the high level that Mike has. I mean, fucking
and
legit.
won.
And also, I mean, let's not forget the fucking fact that he was a movie star.
Yeah.
Like,
Jack of all
okay,
trades.
oh, man, dude, you was a professional powerlifter. That's cool. Oh, and you also competed at the world strongman level. Hey, man, that's cool. On top of that, you was a professional fucking wrestler
Yeah.
and an MMA fighter. And you was in a fucking movie with Mickey Rourke, who is a scumbag, but fair enough.
Hey, so we have a pretty badass video that Chris Skarupka made.
Let's
for
do
us.
it, man.
So let's check
Lay it
that
out
out,
there.
Aaron. If you want to fucking pull that up.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry that took so long.
No, you're good, brother.
You big, but I'm gonna run your ass down soon. You better get going with that big raw bench, man. I'm gonna run right over a 500-pound raw bench.
This is coming to you straight out of Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's
fucking kidding with you.
I know.
Calm the fuck down, dude.
I know, I didn't do it on
Wow,
purpose.
the problem is you don't hang out no
Thank
more.
you, Chris.
Yeah, I
for
do.
sending
And I'm
us
gonna
that.
tell you something else. Something's fucked up. I can't hear anything now.
Oh, there we go.
What the fuck is going on with the fucking soundboard? Paul,
We're
you
good.
guys are fucking mentally
No, we're
retarded.
good.
Everything's fine. Everything was fine.
It's not okay.
I can hear
Does
it.
this sound... Yeah, I can too, but does it sound right?
Yeah. I think everyone can hear us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, you're good.
On like the headphones in the crowd can hear us. Yeah, we're good.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah. So thanks a lot, Chris. That was a badass video. Appreciate you putting that together for us. Check us out on metalmilitiapowerlifting.com. Also, obviously, Facebook, because we're on Facebook right now. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place. So make sure you give us a like, subscribe, whatever you want.
Have an announcement to
Go
make.
ahead.
Without it sounding super... I hope everyone can hear me because it sounds to me like I'm echoing, but maybe I'm crazy. Next week, we're going to have Dr. Bill Fritz
Yes.
on the fucking show.
Absolutely.
Now, Dr. Fritz, not only is the doctor of style, the doctor of coolness,
Goats.
but this motherfucker is like an authentic doctor. We're going to have him on the show, and we're going to talk about some, like, metal militia shit. Like the direction that the club is going in. We're going to talk about training philosophies and the reason why we do stuff. And we're going to hopefully put some shit to bed. Like, for example, we don't fucking compete in RPS meets. We don't do that. Buck?
We don't do that.
We just don't do that.
Pretty. Everyone knows.
Their
that.
federation is filled with a fucking group of fucking scumbags. I have no problem saying that. From the top down. But also, we're going to talk about training philosophies, which Bill is going to tell you. You know, we have a few ideas. And since he's a doctor, he's got a kind of a handle on it.
Yep.
And we're going to fucking follow a good path. We're going to do an hour-and-a-half show. And we're going to go over all kinds of cool shit. Next week is a must tune in. Not to hear stories, but a must tune in if you want information packed, if you want, you know.
Take some notes, baby.
Exactly, man. Fucking get involved. That way you don't have to send me a text message at 2 o'clock in the morning from fucking Spain asking me if you should be doing board presses off of a fucking 2-board with a bench shirt. No. But we're going to cover all that
No,
stuff.
little Timmy.
No, but so we're gonna have Bill Fritz on the show next week. It's gonna be a fucking badass show. We're gonna shoot an hour-and-a-half show so we can cover everything that needs to be covered. Yes, I know we're supposed to be only an hour, but there's so much additional coverage that we need done next week. We're gonna give Billy a little bit more fucking time. Obviously, we gave Mike more time because he's a fucking rock star and he's awesome and. That's how it goes. So
I also have a couple shout outs.
Lay the shout outs out.
Big Tommy's birthday was the other day.
Let me tell you, I sent
Happy birthday, Big Tommy.
Happy birthday, Big Tommy. Okay, I sent him a message and I said this. My message was I wish I could find it on Facebook, but
Yeah.
I said I hope you have a great birthday. I hope you get to hang out with a couple hot chicks.
I'm sure he did.
Did you see my message?
No, but I'm just saying, I'm sure he probably did hang out.
I said, I hope you get to hang out with a couple hot chicks. I hope you get to lift some heavy-ass weights. And I hope you run from the law and get chased and get arrested and get off. Because I need to be able to tell a story about your ass. So, but my whole, with Tom, I've been fucking Tommy's one of the guys, man. Listen, man, I don't want a regular story.
Fucking action packed.
I want something action packed, man, where you chopping somebody up or getting crazy or getting loose, running from the law, something cool, man. Like, come on, man, let's get. We ain't that old. We at 60, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. At 60, you can share old stories. You ain't got to make new ones.
Yeah, another shout out I had was the video from Australia reminded me. So a few weeks ago we talked about in the Australia chapter, his name's Darren, was having heart surgery. He's recovering good and he's on his way back. So I want to give a shout out to him. So good job, Darren. Can't wait till you're healthy again. See you lift some heavy ass weights. So those are my 2 shout outs.
All right, Paul, you got anything?
I think we're good.
You ain't got no fucking woman from fucking East Berlin you want to fucking hit on? Because God only knows where you're at with it. Hey, the one, I'll tell you what, the one girl from, not Nas Barbell, Hellbent Barbell did a flip. I don't know.
Denise.
What's her name?
She did a flip.
Denise did a flip. I liked it, and I fucking was like, man, that's cool.
That's cool.
So I like athleticism. That's cool. What else is cool that I've recently seen? I've seen some assassinations on Facebook that I'm not going to get into. Like not like actually killing a motherfucker. Aaron, Jesus Christ. Aaron's like, yeah, kill a motherfucker. Like verbal assassinations where people are fucking people up, because I like to hear people talking about shit and speaking up. That's cool.
It's kind of like what's going to happen next week. We're blasting people.
And I will say, Kyle always gets his ass turned up into a fucking knot when we talk about fucking politics, but at the same time, I kind of like some of the stuff that's going on right now. It's pretty cool. In the Republican Party, not a fucking Democrat, scumbag fucking piece of shit. So, Kyle, we're talking about politics because it's a hot topic. Hot topic. Hot topic. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Meta Militia for life. Take us out, Aaron.
Aaron, man, take us out. I've had enough of these people.